Joining us now on the podcast, it all started with a man cleaning out his garage. David, how's your garage look right now?
Mine's awful.
No, okay, that's fine. Before this guy threw away an old newspaper, he spotted an article about his home city and a beloved food. There was a problem, though. Buffalo, New York did not have a Buffalo Wing Festival. So the future 2003 Buffalo, New York Citizen of the Year decided to change that. Since the beginning of the Buffalo Wing Festival, there have been over 1.2 million attendees from 46 states and 28 different countries. More than 215 tons of wings have been consumed from over 150 participating restaurants, raising nearly $500,000 for local charities. Our guest this episode has appeared on Food Network, The Today Show, CNN, The Travel Channel, PBS, Live with Regis and Kelly, CBS Morning Show, Fox and Friends, and the BBC, just to name a few. Wings and Things podcast is proud to welcome the man who started it all by cleaning out his own garage. Live from Buffalo, New York, the Wing King, Drew Cerza.
All right.
Hey, guys. Oh, welcome. Hey,
Man.
You also missed that he whooped Bobby Flay's butt.
He did.
We'll get there.
So
We'll get We're going to talk about that. Don't worry.
And so, Eric, I gotta mention too, episode 1 of Wings and Things. We were talking about our dream interviews, and Rob, you said
Sean Evans from
Sean
Hot
Evans.
Ones.
That's right. And Eric, you said
Drew Cerza, the Wing
Drew
King.
Cerza.
The Wing King. And here
Your dreams,
he is.
your dreams
So
have come true.
We see the
We made it,
hierarchy.
boys.
We see the
You can tell
hierarchy.
who's making all the money, Sean Evans, because you couldn't get him, you got me instead.
That's true. Rob's interview costs a little bit more than ours does, so we're
yeah.
starting here. All right, so Drew, you're the Wing King. How did it start, man? How did your love for wings start? How did the Wing King persona start?
You know, Buffalo boy, grew up in Buffalo, and ironically enough, where I went to college, the first college I went to was called Brighton Stratton Business Institute, 2-year school, and it was ironically literally kitty corner from the Anchor Bar, and that was back in the early 1980s, like 1980 itself. And we didn't, I just didn't realize the Anchor Bar was what they were invented, because you just thought of wings are wings. Just we always had wings on Friday nights, or got them from the local pizzerias, and I was in the Anchor Bar a lot of times during class too. But we just had a blast, and that's where I first started having my wings. But one day I was cleaning out my garage, and the recycle bin was right there, and I saw the newspaper and I picked it up, and there was an article by a guy named Don Esmond. He was a local columnist, and he wrote about this movie called Osmosis Jones with Bill Murray, and how Bill Murray was a big junk food eater, but his favorite food, which I don't consider junk, by the way, was
Not at all.
buffalo wings.
No.
And he wanted to go to the Buffalo Wing Festival. And guess what? We didn't have one. And Don Esmond was kind of calling out somebody to do this, because wings are called buffalo wings all over the country, and we don't have a festival to celebrate. You got the Gilroy Garlic Festival in Gilroy, California. You got the Wisconsin Cheese Festival, but Buffalo didn't have a wing fest. So I was a food promoter. I worked with food manufacturers that are, consumer packaged goods that are sold in supermarkets. And I had a bit of a marketing background, promotions. I had been participating in events for companies, but to do a full-fledged, I had no idea. So I thought, this is cool. I'm going to do it. So I called on Esmond, rented the movie, decided I'm going to have a wing eating contest, a Miss Buffalo Wing contest, a lot of different sauces, and invite the best wings from all over the country to Buffalo, the Mecca, for this big annual event. It was a pipe dream, and it was a rough go, the first one, but we pulled it off, and now we're 22 years later. But the first one, this movie came out in August of 2001. My first planning meeting was September 11th, 2001 at 9 a.m.
Wow.
So, I mean, literally the Twin Towers, everything happened, and we didn't know if there'd even be an event. So we picked up planning in April, and I ordered 100 turkey fryers on my credit cards. I had to have them shipped to 5 different houses because the company wouldn't ship them to me. I got a $100,000 home equity loan on my house. Had to sign my wife's name because I had to fly restaurants in. I had to give them rent cars. Nobody believed in this thing, so I had to get people to come. And we had about 12 different restaurants, and we pulled it off. We were at the minor league baseball stadium where the Buffalo Bisons play. We had about 40,000 people our first year, and it was a bit of a what show. But we're on the baseball field drinking beer and eating wings.
That's
That
amazing.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, your good friend and our good friend Stan Friedman was there that first year, and he told us it was not good. Like, he had some feedback for you.
I had this one guy. He passed away, but he was a Buffalo legend in food. Andy DiVincenzo had a place called Billy Yoggins, and he had the best stuffed hot peppers. And I invited him because I want to have other foods as well. He comes up to me toward the end of the show, and he's sweating. He's burned out because you couldn't get the wings because we were so backed up. So he went through all his peppers. He goes, Cerza, he goes, this is a real shit show. I have to tell you, but everybody's happy drinking beer. I don't understand it, but I think good job.
I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
Drew, real quick, I got to ask, just because if you know anything about Bill Murray, there's like this mysterious aura about him and how he works his career. And so the fact that the Wing Festival kind of got started just around this movie of his, have you had him visit? And then how long did it take to get him there if you have?
So first things first, I was friends with Drew Bledsoe and his father, Mac, and I helped run their family foundation for parenting when he was up in New England. And it was in August, right before the Wing Fest, a month out. They invited me to go up there for this golf tournament, and it was a celebrity golf tournament. And the Farley brothers,
I already see where this is going.
And Bobby Farley was on the putting green. And the Farley brothers are the ones that did the movie Osmosis Jones.
Right.
We also did me, myself, and Irene, Something About Mary. So I had the little article in my pocket. I took it with me about a man, a plan, a Wingfest. So I went up to him, introduced myself, and I said, "Hey, my name's Drew Cerza. I'm from Buffalo, bada bing. And you know that movie Osmosis Jones?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, it's a good one." I said, there isn't even a festival, but you probably knew that. And I'm going to do one because of your movie. He goes, "There wasn't a festival? We just assumed there was." Didn't even know. Wow. So getting back to Bill Murray, everybody says you got to get Bill Murray to come. You got to get Bill Murray to come. Well, if you ever watch the old David Letterman shows and that, you don't. Bill Murray doesn't have a phone, answer machine, agent, nothing. And so it's really tough to get Bill Murray. Bill Murray kind of shows up when he wants to. I had 2 really good friends. I have Stan Friedman, who actually met him in an airport and started talking to him about it. They actually had coffee together. And Don Esmond, the guy who wrote the article that I reacted to in the Buffalo News, he was actually down in Charleston, South Carolina, because Bill Murray and Jimmy Buffett own like 6 minor league baseball teams, and one of them is in Charleston. So Bill Murray would take his boys there. Well, Esmond's in the the pro shop or whatever. They buy in like a souvenir hat, and he sees Bill Murray. Bill Murray's pitching like, "Hey, you got to buy this T-shirt." He was selling T-shirts to people having fun. And Don went up to him and said, "Hey, you know that movie Osmosis Jones? There's a weak fence." He goes, "Yeah, you're the second guy to tell me that. We got to get you to come to Buffalo." And that's the closest I've come. That's the closest.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? He knows about it, and that's the hardest step usually.
But
let's see. Let's do a package deal. We get Sean Evans on the podcast, and I get Bill Murray.
You know what? And
We'll
Bill Murray
No.
could do Hot Ones, which is the whole reson we could have them both there. I think he'd be a great interview on Hot Ones too. So I think we can make it happen.
Especially if we end up going to the festival, so then it's just a synergetic, perfect situation with all of it.
Love this.
Absolutely.
I love this.
Wow.
Speak it into existence.
So, Drew, I got to ask, we know that you love the city of Buffalo, and you've been named some really cool titles throughout, your time with the city. I know that a lot of the things that y'all do with the festival give back to local charities within Buffalo and the surrounding areas. So, how did you get to Buffalo?
So my parents are from New York City, and my dad was in the grocery business, and he got a job offer in Buffalo, and to basically, how Walmart has their hard goods, but they also have grocery.
Sure.
Well, this store, Twin Fair, they had about 3 stores. He came in to put the grocery in, so he was always a food marketing guy, and we moved to Buffalo, and that's how we got here, and brought my mom kicking and screaming. The New York girl, so she always says you can take the girl out of New York, but you can't take New York out of the girl.
Right.
So our family's from New York City. But just being a Buffalo boy, there's a culture here that's pretty cool. I think since Josh Allen came to the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills became winners, I think that the rest of the country saw what Buffalo's all about. We get hit with the snowstorms. Everybody feels bad for Buffalo. They make fun of Buffalo. But now I think we're kind of America's second favorite team, if not America's favorite team. But we're also that underdog city that everybody loves and respects. I really feel that way. And I think the Bills this last crew of players just really enforce that, and we're just one of those cities that people, I want to say, they don't feel sorry for us anymore. They're just rooting for us.
Yeah. We have the Atlanta Falcons. There's no way we can feel sorry for
people.
You
feel sorry for Atlanta.
Yeah. So,
hey, apparently the entire nation hates our coach, incling us. So
apparently,
that's one where we can all kind of
together
rally around that.
We also hate our quarterback. So there you go.
So, Drew, why don't you talk a little bit about, I know the Buffalo Wing Festival is held at Highmark Stadium where the Bills play. Talk about the relationship that you have with the Bills, since we're talking football now.
Yeah, so we were at the minor league baseball stadium of the Buffalo Bisons, a AAA affiliate, for 19 years. And then, we know what happened in 2020, and we couldn't have the festival. Well, during that time, the Toronto Blue Jays, which was our parent organization, they couldn't play in Toronto because the government wasn't allowing American teams to go into Canada. Right. So they set up camp in Buffalo, and they changed the stadium to make it more of a major league stadium. They put real bullpens in, and they took this major area of the stadium that was a big part of my footprint where we had entertainment and all that. They took it away. And they also had a homestand booked for Labor Day weekend. So it was around April or so, and things started loosening up, and the governor said, okay, you can have 50 people at a gathering. Well, that's not going to work. Then it got to 500, and then we're like, okay, so maybe we can do sessions. We'll do 500 3 times on Saturday and 2 times on Sunday. So we're just trying to connive like whatever way we can. And then all of a sudden they opened it up. At the same time, I knew I couldn't do it at the Bison Stadium. So a friend of mine who was running the Bills at the time, I knew because he went to a different Catholic school. I went to St. Joe's. He went to Canisius, big competitors. And I called him and explained my situation. And he said, hey, we'd love to have you. He said, Labor Day weekend is always dark in the NFL because of that collective bargaining agreement they did 3 years ago. They added the NFL game, took away 2 preseasons, right. And they said Labor Day weekend is always dark. So I had the opportunity to go to that stadium, and they literally threw me the keys and said, okay, there you go.
Wow.
Wow.
This is unbelievable.
Man.
But then I had to figure the venue out because if you know events, I mean, you got loading docks, electric, you've got all these. Where am I going to cook the wings? How am I going to transport them? How am I going to utilize that stadium? They don't allow wings on the field, but they allow beer. So how do I utilize the stadium to make it work? And I thought we did a really good job that first year because we didn't change a whole lot. There was only so many things you could do, but there's different amenities there, like this huge Pepsi Club, which is a huge indoor club that can seat about 500 people with tables and that. We've got 2 of those. So we've got different areas where we can do different things. So it just changed, it elevated the festival. We're at an NFL stadium instead of a minor league stadium.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the minor league stadium. It was much more, it was warmer, it was closer, it was tighter, but it was really crowded. Now we're spread out, but it's still not too big, you know. So we're proud to be at the home of the Buffalo Bills, you know, and
Of course.
you know, when the new stadium comes up, we're looking forward to that too.
Have they consulted with you on the new stadium to make sure that the Buffalo Wing Festival has its appropriate space?
Well, I think that was part of the negotiations with
Good.
Well, you know, it's funny. So my buddy, when I asked him, like, when they were first planning it, like a year and a half ago, he said, no, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do it. So I'm hoping we can. I don't see why we wouldn't, because trust me, the state taxpayers and county taxpayers put a lot of money in. So they're going to need to be able to do community events like the Wing Fest. And, you know, I think we shine a great light on Buffalo and shine a great light on that stadium. So it's been a great partnership. The Buffalo Bills have been fantastic to work with. They help us with the marketing, and they're just a first-class organization.
That's
Fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, speaking of the National Buffalo Wing Festival, you know, we actually we were talking with Scott Lowry from Buffalo Wild Wings a few weeks ago, and he told us how amazing the festival is. He loves going, and we've been talking about going ever since we started this podcast. Take us through what a day looks like. What's some of your favorite events that happen during the festival? It always happens on Labor Day weekend, like you said. What are some of your favorite things, and what a normal day at the National Buffalo Wing Festival looks like?
You know, it's kind of cool. I mean, first things first. If you go to the Buffalo Bills games, you're used to going to the game and sitting in a lot of traffic, watching all the tailgaters, and it's a crazy atmosphere. So when you go to the Wing Fest, it's a Sunday, Labor Day weekend, so you drive right up. We have free parking because we got a huge parking lot. So that was a great bonus. But, you know, you just, again, I'm just going to pretend I'm an attendee. Just to walk toward that stadium and see it, you just get this high. You know, I mean, you're just thinking about the Bills and this and that. And then you can smell the wings, you know, so you know you're walking to something good, you know. And it's really cool when you walk in kind of like I'm going to say the end zone, one of the ends. And, you know, the stadium's a bowl. So when you walk in on the ground level, you're on the main concrete concourse that wraps all the way around the stadium. Sure. And we take about, you know, I would say 2/3 of that, and we wrap restaurants all the way around and space them out. And we have also sponsors that have different activities, give away goods. Flying Goose gave away bottles of sriracha sauce, and you know how bad sriracha sauce is. I mean, forget about cost, just getting the stuff.
Liquid gold, man.
Yeah.
It is gold. It's gold, Jerry, gold. So it's fun, you know, and you know, in the intro you mentioned 46 states we had in 28 countries. That was just 1 year. We've had 50 states come in, and we actually have a big map in this visitors center, and you go and you put a push pin in the state where you're from, and we've nailed 50 sometimes.
Yeah.
Last year, excuse me, we have 46. But yeah, it's 23,000 people from all over the country.
Wow.
So it's not just Buffalonians, you're meeting people from all over. It's cool. It's cool. So you've got all the restaurants, over 100 different sauces, restaurant from Mexico, Iceland. I mean, we get them from Wyoming, Pennsylvania, all over the country, Virginia Beach, the Dirty Buffalo. We actually had Heatonist, which is the parent company of Hot. So the Hot Ones crew was there. They had the last dab in all their sauces, and it was pretty cool.
That's
a lot of great sauces.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite part? You gotta pick one. Is it the wing eating contest? Is it the sauces? Is it the bands? What's your favorite
It's
part?
the people. It's meeting all the people. And people meet people and watching all the smiles on the faces. But, you know, on the main field, we have all the sponsors and have all their tents. And again, different activities going on, lots of fun. Then the main stage with live music, 3 different stages with live music.
Wow.
But I'm going to say it's got to be, and we'll have a sauce off. We have a baby wing contest. We do goofy stuff like Bob for wings in the kiddie pool full of blue cheese. 3 people for 2 minutes.
I was going to ask what the bobbing for wings was, because I'm going, okay, I see it on the schedule. Is it like is it in water? But now it's in blue cheese.
It's
and you gotta,
solid Marie's blue cheese, chunky. Chunky.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like this thick in blue kiddie pools, like you buy for your baby, And
Wow.
we give them goggles, and they get on their hands and knees, and they go down and pull out as many as they can in 2 minutes, and they're covered with blue cheese. It's a cool visual. It's
I don't feel good.
Crazy. But
That's amazing.
all blue cheese.
That sounds amazing.
It's all blue cheese.
So Eric and
Did you
I,
guys know that Drew has an aversion to ranch on wings?
Oh yeah.
right.
Yeah. This I don't understand, because I am 100% against blue cheese.
Yeah, Drew, Eric and I are the only two that
Team blue cheese.
appreciate blue cheese on wings, because I feel like that's how it should be. I like ranch, but blue cheese on a wing, there's nothing like it.
All respect to the ranch people, because Hidden Valley is a sponsor and good people, but when
There's a good
ranch,
king drawing people together, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's like Ebony and Ivory. It's like we are the world.
There you go.
We are the children.
That's right.
Can't we all get along and just meet in the middle? I know that's not allowed politically anymore, but we can when it comes to I just think of ranch dressing should be that's Pizza Hut for salad bars. That to me that's But ranch is the favorite condiment around the country for wings. So we do have ranch dressing there, but maybe one day bobbing for wings and ranch dressing could be a play. That could be a play. But my favorite
feel any better.
Thanks, I'm trying.
Still sounds
so
disgusting.
that is something to see. But when we have the competitive eaters come in, and the National Buffalo Wing Eating Championship, the Winning On folks, we use their medium sauce, and they help us out. Winning On's a great company that's just growing, starting in Connecticut. They've been great partners. And we bring in Joey Chestnut, Mickey Sudo, Eric Badlands Booker, Nick Weary, all the best eaters in the world. And they have what we call a Buffalo Buffet contest on Saturday night, which is one of our delicacies here, is roast beef on weck. We call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weck roll, yeah. And they eat that and pizza and boneless wings, 5 pounds worth, and the first one to finish wins. So that's kind of a gluttony bowl. But the wings, they have 12 minutes to eat as many wings as they can. And that's more of a finesse thing. That's more about hand speed and just working the wing. Mm-hmm. And Joey Chestnut hasn't won in 3 years.
Wow.
So,
surprising.
this past year, we had a guy from Australia, James Webb, ate, I think, 283 wings in 12 minutes. And beat Mickey Sudo, who's been the champion the last 2 years. So it's really fun to watch, because it's the same guy, George Shea, with the funny hat that him and his brother organized, and they run the Coney Island hot dog eating contest. And George is the MC, and he's hilarious. The intros, he's fun. It's not just eating; it's just it's a fun event.
What is the record for the wing eating contest, and has it been submitted to Guinness Book of World Records?
Well, I think 287, Jeffrey Esper from Boston. He's a school teacher.
Wow.
He's got the record. The problem with Guinness is not the beer, because we love Guinness beer.
Yes.
Is they got all these rules, regulations, and we win it in Buffalo. I mean, the contest itself is solid. But I don't need somebody telling me, well, you got to do this and that. Nah, just freaking do it and fun. Yeah. So we never called Guinness. It's expensive and too tight. We're loose in Buffalo with this thing.
I like it.
Sure. I'm a fan of that. All right. So Drew, Rob mentioned it a little bit earlier. We got to talk about your showdown with Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Taking Bobby Flay down. Tell us about being on Throwdown with Bobby Flay and just the whole experience of that, and coming out on top.
So, wow, it was it's kind of a neat story. So if you ever saw the show Throwdown, it was only the second season, so I hadn't really seen it, and this is back in 2006. Mm-hmm. So it's not like the Food Network was changing over from the Emeril Lagasse, who came to the Wing Fest and brought us on the show. Like the cooking in the kitchen, to going on the road.
Right.
And Bobby would pick who he thought was the expert in a food category in a certain region, and he thought I was the Buffalo Wing guy. But what they do, they call you and make you feel like you're trying out for some other show. And they did that, and they were calling me, and I had to film myself cooking wings and sent it in, and I didn't hear a call back, and I was pretty fired up because I thought it was they said it was a show called America's Favorite Foods, and Buffalo Wings, they were going to be the pilot program. I was the pilot. I was flying away.
Wow.
So all of a sudden I called the number because it was like Hollywood. You want to see him sweat, right? Well, I was sweating, so I called. And I'm sorry, but the number you're trying to reach has been disconnected.
Oh my gosh.
I got scammed on this whole thing, Then a month later I get a call. Hey Drew, we just want to let you know we picked you for the show and we're coming out to Buffalo.
Wow.
So the first day they come out, they shot all B-roll stuff. I did a cooking class for wings. The Buffalo Sabres were in the playoffs and they had a party on the plaza outside with a band of that. I was up there. I got to grab something real quick and show you guys. You can hear me talk, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we still got you.
So I was, they had a big stage and I have this character, a bobblehead. Let me find it here in my office. And of course I can't find it. No, I can't find it now. I have my own bobblehead, the winking bobblehead, but for another time.
Too cool.
So
I'm officially jealous.
We filmed all this stuff, the whole day. And the second day, they said, we're going to go to the Anchor Bar. We're going to have you cook your wings because they made me make a famous recipe, my Bourbon Street wings. And I cooked them and served them up right there in the main area of the Anchor Bar. And they put a press release out, free wings and free beer at the Anchor Bar. So obviously it was 11 in the morning. The place is freaking packed.
Yeah.
And actually there was a fire and the guys finished fighting the fire and the Buffalo firefighters all showed up too. And all of a sudden we were there for 3 hours. Yeah, why not? Free wings and beer, right, firemen? So they told me we just need to sauce one more batch of wings for a beauty shot. So as I'm saucing, all of a sudden I look up and there's this guy and he looked familiar. And remember, Bobby Flay wasn't, he was big, but he wasn't famous.
Sure.
And I look up and I go, hi, how you doing? He goes, good. I go, hi, I'm Drew Cerza of the Wing King. I shake his hand. He goes, hi, I'm Bobby Flay. I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden people heard it because they kept it a secret. They're like, Bobby Flay's here, Bobby Flay. And they're all cheering. He goes, and I came to challenge you to a chicken wing throwdown. And everybody goes nuts.
Wow.
I have no clue what that means. I'm clueless.
It's like,
and all I know is this like the other show where you got a secret ingredient? I'm going to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the front door opens in the Anchor Bar. These 6 guys in chef coats have all these different products. They throw a table. I got my table. It's me and him in a throwdown episode.
Whoa.
So
and
the cameras have been rolling at this point, right? They've been rolling all day. You have people coming in, free wings. So it's kind of like that thing where you kind of forget the cameras are around. You kind of forget that you're on a TV show, you're cooking wings, doing your thing. And the next thing you know, you're standing in front of Bobby Flay and he's challenging you to a chicken wing throwdown.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
All of a sudden, I'm recognizing that's kind of crummy because he's had all day
throwing
to
you
sit
off,
back, relax, prepare. He's like, I've got my world famous recipe. And then he walks in. He's like, "Hey, do your best in the drop of a hat. By the way, surprise, I'm here too."
Yeah, with his posse, and he'll say Bobby knows a little bit more about cooking than I do. No, it was really cool
about wings.
Yeah, exactly. It was take your daughter to work day.
Oh, okay, there it is.
So my daughter was with me, and she was in 8th grade at the time, and she was there, and she got to stand by me during the whole show for the whole episode.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's amazing.
I'll never forget it. It was me and Bobby at the end where the judges are picking their plate. And when they put my hand up, I'm like, holy shit, this could be big,
That's incredible.
And that's when he called me the Wing King. So that's where he coined me the term the Wing King. So obviously a marketing guy's going to roll with that, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's when the bobblehead came out and all that stuff. And I have this outfit where you can see my hat back here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to put it on, Drew.
I was going to ask you about the
whole
hat.
thing.
I'm sorry.
There it is.
My crown.
So now, we got to get people. This is where we say, if you want to see Drew wearing the hat, you got to go to YouTube.
That's
and watch
right.
the video, because if you're listening on podcast, you're not going to see it. So
where did the crown
right.
come from?
Good
How did
point.
it come about?
So this thing was made years ago. It's the same folks that do the Wisconsin cheesehead.
Very cool.
And some guy in Buffalo just started making the wing hats. You see him at the Bills games, you see him at the Bills games. So
yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, so I got this red robe. I got Wing King on the back. Matter of fact, this weekend we play Denver on Monday night, and you'll also see at Bills games they have the Water Buffalo Club now. So it's this furry hat that goes straight up with the buffalo on the front and horns. It's a takeoff from the Flintstones.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the honorary Grand Poobah this Monday night. That's a big honor.
How cool.
Oh, my goodness. Way to go.
That's amazing.
That's nice.
I'm going to put that on the LinkedIn account, So I'll be honored Grand Poobah, and I'm going to trade this in for the Grand Poobah hat. So,
amazing.
We're always
That
doing
is
fun,
awesome.
wacky stuff in Buffalo.
That's amazing.
I love it.
But the Bobby Flay thing really helped the festival and me take off my career with it because, when you beat Bobby Flay, all of a sudden I'm on The View before all the politics got into The View. And Jerry Seinfeld was on the show,
wow.
Brooks and Dunn, and I was cooking wings, and Regis and Kelly Today shows and all this stuff. And it really just helped blossom me as the wing king, but also I always got a chance to talk about the festival, and they always showed B-roll in the festival. So it really worked out well. And then just kept rolling with it, and the whole, after the pandemic, we got an opportunity. Jeff Bloor, who's from Buffalo, he's the CBS Saturday morning show guy. He came out to Buffalo and he did a great piece on the history of wings. And you can get it on our website, buffalowing.com. It's on there on the media page. But, he came out, and then Fox and Friends came out to the Wing Fest 2 years ago and did 4 different media hits on Saturday morning back to the studio. So it seems like the Wing Fest is back. It took a little lull, but back in the national news again.
That's amazing.
That's great.
That is awesome. I mean, it's an honor to talk to you. And, obviously we want to promote, because, we're a wing podcast. So, for all of our wing lovers out there, if you're in the Buffalo area during, Labor Day weekend, there's only one place to be, and that's the National Buffalo Wing Festival. I mean, we're hopefully going to be there this next year. I mean,
this coming fall.
That's our plan. But it just sounds like it's an incredible event, and the way that you've championed that, not only for Buffalo wing lovers, but for the city of Buffalo, is pretty awesome. And now, you said something a few minutes ago that I got to ask, and I know that we kind of always end with this, but I'm going to kind of jump in. You talked about Joey Chestnut and those guys doing kind of like the preliminary kind of eating contest where they eat pizza and all these different things. And you mentioned that they eat boneless wings. Now, are they eating chicken tenders covered in sauce, or are they eating boneless wings? Because we've had a debate on this podcast for a little over a year now. What exactly is a boneless wing?
I should have said chicken nuggets.
There you go. There you go.
There it is.
Because these guys,
or trash.
these guys are crazy, man. If you gave them wings, they'd probably eat the bones whole, But that is another big debate. And I've met some great people in my day. Ander Christensen, okay? If you look him up, he's the guy out west. I can't remember if it was
Lincoln,
North
Nebraska.
Dakota, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yep.
I brought him out to the Wing Fest because he's the one at that, town meeting where his father was on the council, where he said, we have a big problem, folks. We have a serious issue for our children. Yes, I'm talking about boneless wings.
Yep.
We need to rename the boneless wing, which we still need to do.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree.
100% agree.
We did pretty much an entire episode around that, around that city council episode.
Mr. Saucy Nugs himself.
Saucy Nugs and or Trash himself.
That's right. So did you have him on? Did you have Andrew on?
We haven't had him on the podcast, but we talked about him. We had a debate about boneless or traditional wings, and we played his YouTube video on the podcast, and he's absolutely 100% correct.
He speaks the truth.
He speaks the truth, and we all love we love, chicken nuggets covered in sauce. I do. I think everyone can say that we love that, but to call it a boneless wing, it's wrong.
No. Well, there's been lawsuits. Didn't Buffalo Wild Wings get sued?
Oh,
They got
did,
sued.
It was a
Yep,
civil-
they got
Just
sued.
dropped, but yeah.
Yeah. So Ander actually comes to the Wing Fest every year now, and he has T-shirts, Saucy Nugs, and he's been a part of it too. We bring a lot of kids. One thing that I didn't really talk much about, if I could throw in there, for the restaurants to come out to the Wing Fest, it's like the national trade show, and they become famous from coming out to the Wing Fest.
That's awesome.
The one place called Double Dubs. This is kind of a neat. Do we have time still?
Absolutely. We got all the time you want to take up.
You are the king.
Oh, good. All right, hold on one second.
Oh, we're moving.
Should I get up here? No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So this place called Double Dubs, Weitzel's Wings. So Trent's Weitzel and Double Dubs, WW. He's got food trucks out in Laramie. And obviously that's where Josh Allen played college ball. Sure. And Josh loves Double Dubs. So he would call me every year. And even before Josh came to Buffalo and said, hey, I want to come out to the Wing Fest. Hey, see, Trey, you seem like a great guy, but this is brick and mortar. We're not really doing food trucks. So one year he calls me, and it was 2019. And he says, hey, this year might be different. I go, why? He goes, well, you ever hear of Josh Allen? I said, this is Josh's rookie year, I think.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, of course I heard Josh Allen. He's our quarterback. He goes, yeah, he loves Double Dubs because that's where after the games he'd come and get Double Dubs in the parking lot. I go, okay, I'll tell you what. If he tweets out that he wants Double Dubs to come to the Wing Fest, I'll let you in. How's that? He goes, I'm on it. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Oh, man.
I get a call 5 minutes later. Hello, Drew. Yeah. Hey, it's Josh.
Oh, my.
I go, Josh, it's Josh Allen. I go, really? Hey, Josh, how you doing? Yeah, I just want to put a good word in for Trent and, ask you if you could 20 minutes on the phone, try and talk me into letting Double come. And then we talked about wings. So from there, doesn't Trent win all these awards that first year? And then they win awards. We had to take the year off. And then we go to the stadium. He wins more awards. Well, these guys do a great job on posting on social media all their awards. And Guy Fieri sees it. And Guy Fieri comes out with diners, drive-ins, and dives. And doesn't he do a show?
Yeah.
So again, there he is. Now he's on the map, and just grew his business big time. Another place, the Blind Rhino out of Connecticut. They won a bunch of awards, posted online. Some influencer went in, tried the wings. Well, then influencer loved them, called his buddy, who was actually in charge of the Super Bowl pregame party, the players' pregame party for the NFL players, and says, you got to have these wings there. So now he's the official wing of that Super Bowl party.
Wow.
And it's just in Booty's Wings out in Arizona. They were actually on the Good Morning Football show the day of the Super Bowl with their wings because, again, the Wing Fest Awards. So we're almost like the Guy Fieri of to make all these guys famous, and they leverage it. They do a great job in leveraging.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've talked to Double Dubs. I've had a few conversations with them on Instagram. We're going to have them on the podcast. We're just trying to work out schedules. Schedules are tough. Schedules are challenging. But I reached out to them last year because they won Festival Favorite. And I was like, hey, we got to have you on. We got to talk about it. And then this year they win Festival Favorite again. So they're just, 2 years in a row. They're killing it right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a battle. It's because Booties won 2 years in a row. Then they had to take a year off because of a wedding. And that's when Double Dubs won. So this past year was a clash of the titans. Head to head. And it was like a 300 win difference. Wow. And it was close, but Double Dubs won. And, the other thing we do, we didn't talk about, we have the Buffalo Wing Hall of Fame. We induct people in the Hall of Fame Friday night before the festival who have taken wins to the next level. And this past year was Booties.
I was going to ask you about them. Give us a little bit insight into Booties about, where they are, what they do, why were they inducted?
So Andy and Peggy, they've been together. Well, Andy started out in the restaurant business. He was with a bunch of different chain restaurants. He was with a restaurant called Hurricane Wings back years ago, which is down more in the southeastern Florida than that. And then other different steak places, but always chain restaurants. And then he met Peggy, and they just decided to go for it because he always loved wings. He's from Rochester, New York originally, and then moved out to Arizona, to Phoenix, and just started doing wings and doing them well. And he's been doing it for about, I think they just celebrated their 10th anniversary. So this past Super Bowl, he invited me out to stay at his house.
That's cool.
I said, sure, why not? So I got a couple gigs with the Wing King thing. Gronkowski has a beach party every year, so I was there as a celebrity guest, taking pictures in that. And then I went with the Blind Rhino to the players' tailgate to help them serve their wings. But I was at Booty's like 5 nights, okay? And the culture there is just unbelievable. They'll hire young people, and they'll train them. And then the parents of these kids that work there become customers and then become family members. It's just one big family, and they got 3 of these places. And it just, everybody's happy. They don't get people calling in sick. They just, everybody's happy. You don't hear any of those nightmare stories about staffing. And the culture that they build is great. And their wings are freaking phenomenal. And Andy makes the sauces himself. And, it's like, what's what do you need, 30 years in, 20 or 10? They're all about wings. And they've been doing it great for 10 years. And I just thought when I saw that culture and what they did, they just thought they were very deserving.
That's great. That's amazing.
That is.
Well, how did it feel, since we're on the topic of the Hall of Fame, how did it feel when you were inducted into the Hall of Fame?
It felt weird. I mean, I'm like, I'm one of the guys who started it, it's like, oh my God. But what was neat was the mayor came, and the Mayor Brown, he inducted me. So that was pretty cool. But what's tough for me is it's a busy weekend, and your mind's not there. It's a setup day. Like we were scrambling to set up, and then we've got this party, and I host it, and mind's all over the place. But I can honestly say I probably wish I would have enjoyed it more, been more in the moment, let's just say. But it's something I'm proud of. I mean, to be in the Hall of Fame for chicken wings, because remember, Buffalo Boy, Buffalo Wings, it was pretty cool. But it's really exciting to induct people, and just because they're so proud. And it was, at first, it was something just to do for maybe a little publicity and to really build the festival. But when I saw people in tears as they're getting inducted, I'm like, this is something special. It's really cool because restaurateurs, it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. They commit their lives to it. Yeah. And when they do something like wings to me is the most passionate food. Pizza's good, burgers, whatever. But wings, that's a special animal. And, when you're watching games and stuff and you're eating wings, it's you're going at it. It's like you're participating in a sport. And wings have just been synonymous with football and with sporting events and fun. Nobody's like, you're not going to see wings at a freaking funeral party, because you're not supposed to have fun, right? It's supposed to be mourning. So it's just
depends on the funeral.
You're in a happy place. We should have happy meals, So I love being part of the wing culture because guys like you, look at your podcast. It's all about wings.
Yep.
I mean, what a bonding you've got because of that. But
what a dumb thing we've done.
That was stupid. But
you're not going to do it. If you were salmon guys, we can do a salmon podcast.
You could.
I mean, come on.
Salmon and things just
salmon
and things.
Salmon doesn't roll off the tongue on a podcast.
Not as well as wings and things.
I like salmon, but I love wings.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to call fish and dips.
Yeah. So Drew, it's a Sunday afternoon. You're in Buffalo, New York. You're going. It's 12 o'clock. You got 1 hour till 1 o'clock kickoff. You want some wings. Where are you going to get your wings on Sunday in Buffalo? So where are you going?
First of all, that's a rookie mistake because you missed the window. And noon, you missed the window. You missed the window.
True.
Yeah. So let's just say prior planning, Saturday, we're going to figure it out. You know what's funny? We go to the home games. If I were in, well, I live in East Aurora, New York, just not far from the stadium.
Gotcha.
Down the road is a place called the Bar Bill, and it's a very special place. It's got a great atmosphere, old school, old style, a lot of wood. They've got great wings there. I would probably, but again, I mean, you got to prepare the day before and order them. I like going to eat wings at places because to me, I want the atmosphere. I want the feel.
Sure.
Food to me, okay, if the food's really good, that's one thing. But when I'm going to rate something 1 to 10, it's the server, it's the atmosphere, it's how I feel inside.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest, we don't really order wings to get delivered. We really will do our pizza, but wings, we just sometimes we'll throw them in, but I'm not doing it. Wings don't travel well to me, you know? I mean,
it's true.
I want to, and I'm 62. I don't know how clogged these things are, you know? If I'm going to do some more clogging, it's going to matter. It's going to count. It's going to be fun, and I'm drinking beer with it.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
I will say this season, having the season of Buffalo Wild Wings and even last season, having those wings delivered into us, you know, we know that the experience would be so much better if we were in the restaurant and in the store. But when you're also trying to do a podcast, you got all these microphones and headphones and all this equipment and stuff. You kind of have to, you know, figure that part of it out. But if we can ever figure out the portable recording and being in the store, man, that's gonna be some great episodes.
Game over.
Yeah.
God.
So Drew, I know you've got a really big stance on this next question, and I'm asking it as a personal favor of mine: drums or flats?
Oh yeah,
flats.
Yes.
Told
you guys.
Should we discuss this?
100%.
Absolutely.
I'd love to hear the opinion.
Once again, just like blue cheese and ranch, Eric and I are more flat guys. Rob and David.
I used to be.
That's true.
I have moved on to a drum.
Drew, if you will, please convince these guys why they're on the wrong team.
Please.
Well, you know, again, we live in a very politicized world, and I don't want to like, you know, roll with that. But I think everybody needs to accept people the way they are.
Yeah.
Amen.
And if you're a drum guy, that's okay. But you know, you probably got the pocket protector, the clip-on tie. It's just not an exciting piece of cartilage. I just think it's
drum guy or nerds.
First of all, you got two bones. Okay.
I do have a nerd cave.
2 bones. That's true.
That's true.
Gotta love the 2 bones, right? That's what she said. So, anyways, 2 bones over one. So you got different. Okay, first you can do the split. You can do the skin. You can do the slam, umbrella. Just so many, and there's more meat on it. Where the drum, this is my chalice, by the way.
Amazing.
Let's just pretend this is a drum. All right, so now what do you do? Well, I guess I'm going to go like this. You know, now you could still, you know, play around with it a little bit, but I just think the flat's got more stuff to do with it. You know,
there you go.
And I think it holds more sauce.
Thank you. Agree.
Yeah.
There's more
but
surface
nothing
area.
wrong with the drum. Nothing wrong with the drum. The drum is good, Jerry. The drum is good.
They're all delicious.
That's the thing we've said since the very
there's
beginning.
No bad
like,
they're both good.
Yeah, if we're going to
How
be
about
sitting,
you guys? Tell me what I'm with the drum guy. Come on, let me hear it.
It was funny because I used to be on board with you. I like the flat. I like the ceremony around it. Like I will pop one of the bones out and then lollipop the rest. I enjoy that. But for dipping, and I'm a ranch guy, for dipping, the drum for me, like I can get more ranch dressing on there, and plus some, like my favorite wing place makes really good drums. They have these really good crispy bits like all around the edge, and it's just I don't know. Yeah.
Never good point. See, okay. You bring up another big thing.
Thanks.
But for dipping, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm a non-dipper.
Well, I
you and me
my
both,
drum.
Drew. I'm a non-dipper too. I said that last episode.
I don't dip my flats. I eat my flats. I dip my drums. So
got
I
you.
may be with you.
Okay.
Now,
You're
do you
playing every
pour?
card. You're
Do
like
you
a
pour on
politician. You're
on
getting
the
every
flat?
vote available.
Yep.
Now, will you pour sauce
So-
on the flat, or do you not dip the flats whatsoever, or no sauce on the flats at all?
I don't
Who,
think
me?
I have that either.
Yes,
Who?
you, Drew. Yes. Will you like pour some blue cheese on there?
I believe in enjoying the wing and the sauce and what was prepared. The only dipping I'll do is my celery or carrots and blue cheese. That's it.
Okay.
And that's
Y'all
toward the
didn't I say that last episode?
You did.
When y'all asked
You
me about
did.
dipping,
We tried to talk you into it.
and I mean, I see in some flavors, but I'm a big spice guy, Drew. Like I love
Okay.
heat. And I love heat with flavor, like heat with good flavor, that mix where you get that kick, but you can still taste what the sauce itself, and
Yeah.
you can still taste the way the chicken was cooked. And there's just a really beautiful balance about the sauce with the cooked chicken that I'm just a fan of, and I don't want to sully that with, and I like dips. I don't, I like blue cheese a lot. I do. I like ranch. It has a place. It's not my first choice generally, but for buffalo wings, I want the sauce.
There's just something special though of the combination between wing, medium sauce, and blue cheese. Like when all that hits, there's something so amazing about it that just creates this. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so good. It's amazing. And that's the other thing.
It's like you're at the high school dance, you go up to the girl and ask her to dance, and she says yes.
And then the song
Let's
comes
bottle
on.
that feeling.
Yeah.
Can we
Like the
bottle
perfect
that?
song
Can
comes
we
on. You're
bottle
like,
that
oh,
feeling?
Let's
It's
go.
a Lionel Richie song, right?
We got to
It's
write
the
that
song
down.
that you practice dancing to at home with your mom or your sister.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I did that.
It's got to be
Oh,
dancing on the ceiling.
100%.
By
Took
Lionel
a
Richie,
weird
though.
turn, Rob.
Let's talk about something else. You're talking about the balance of the chicken and the sauce.
Yeah.
I don't like a wing that's too big because
Yeah.
I don't
Good point.
want the flavor of chicken to overpower the sauce.
I agree.
Just to,
Yeah.
that
Or
point, right?
I don't want
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
outside of the chicken wing to be cooked at a different level than the inside of the chicken wing. And if it's too big, you're right. You can bite into it and the outside's nice and crispy. The inside you're a little questionable about. So I'm with you. It needs to be a specific size.
Yeah.
It does. And I just don't like I don't want to eat, I don't want to taste chicken. I want to taste the sauce. See, to me, the chicken wing is really the delivery vehicle for the sauce, right? I mean, because the sauce is the boss. It's all about the sauce.
That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like a flat, because I feel like when I eat a drum, I feel like there's always chicken left on a drum that even though you try to get every piece of it off, you can't.
Yeah.
With a flat, I mean, my bones are pretty clean by the end of it. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect. I mean, and I do love a drum. I don't discriminate when it comes to drums or flats. I do prefer a flat, but there's something about the fact that I can do I get the whole, flat in my mouth at one time, all the sauce, all the chicken, all the blue cheese, and it's an experience. It really is. I think that's why I enjoy a flat, because it's more of an experience as opposed to like chewing around on the drum. It's just boom,
You're gnawing.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're working that drum a lot, aren't you?
Yeah. It's too much.
All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Let's do a little word association. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a word. You just give me a few quick thoughts. We'll do these lightning fast. We'll just a few quick thoughts about all these things. All right. Number 1, Anchor Bar.
Original.
Duff's.
Great sauce.
Gabriel's Gate.
Oh, the most consistently good.
Very nice.
Interesting.
This one I put on there for funsies. Zaxby's.
I read about them in trade magazines. I've never been there.
You're not missing anything.
Perfect. That's exactly why I put them on the list. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Man, that is where it all started, you know. And something else, mango habanero.
Mm.
Do you ever have a mango habanero?
We did
Oh,
have
yeah.
mango hab.
We did.
Got some heat and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very hot. Rob had a lot of trouble with mango hab. Of course, we all kind of had a lot of trouble with it, but Rob had the
Not my
most.
favorite.
It's freaking hot. It's too hot if you ask me. It could tone
Stupid
down. a
ghost pepper one was the worst,
Yeah.
but yeah, mango hob was not fun.
Yeah.
And I'll say Scott Lowry as well.
Yeah. Scott Lowry, absolutely.
The man.
Yeah.
Double dubs.
Double dubs, just cool. Very
They
cool.
are cool. Frank's Red Hot.
Ugh. On anything.
Sriracha sauce.
Tough to get.
Yeah.
You know what? Heat.
Heat.
Yeah.
Lemon pepper.
Neat.
Neat. I like
Neat. I like it.
Yeah.
teriyaki
So
sauce.
Bar Bill in East Aurora, lemon pepper Cajun combo. That's
Oh,
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
not even on the
that-
menu. Yep.
Okay, we're
Speaking our
Oh,
language.
that's the Wing King special.
that is
Speaking our
something.
language.
Ooh.
Dang. All right. Teriyaki sauce.
No.
Nah. Buffalo Bills.
Super Bowl one day.
One day.
It's coming.
You know what?
It's
Buffalo
coming
Bills,
soon.
I'm going to say the heart of our city.
Okay,
That's
wait.
awesome.
If
That's
you're
good.
gonna say Super Bowl, you got to say Super Bowl win. You can't just say Super Bowl with the
That's
Buffalo
true.
Bills.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Buffalo Bills. You got to be a little more specific,
Oh.
right? I know your
That was
history.
4 in a row.
You know what? If you're going to
So-
say, you know what? If you say Super Bowl, you know what I'm going to say? Say Super Bowl.
28-3.
No, 13
So, Drew-
second.
Drew,
13 second is my word association.
I am I
That's
play in a mostly regional touring band as my day job. And we break it down to like acoustic sets and duos sometimes. And one of the first gigs that our lead Nate got in the city was from a guy that built a restaurant outside of Atlanta, who is from New York and is a huge Bills fan. So we spent a lot of time doing their Sunday Bills party, like during the game, and we would play and watch. So we kind of became Bills Mafia in it, not even almost inadvertently, and became fans of the Bills because we spent so much time around those guys and played shows around them and would play Bills parties and tailgates, and so we became Bills fans.
It's infectious, isn't it?
It is.
It's an easy
so
team
fun.
to cheer for.
It
They're,
is.
the Bills are incredible.
They're fun to watch. Eric's a huge Bills fan, obviously from his shirt. I mean, they're fun to watch. It's been cool to see, them just kind of come into their own over the last couple of years. I do want to ask one question. Eric, you said the word anchor bar in your word association. Now, we got an anchor bar down here a few years ago in the Atlanta area, and we love it. It's really great. It's not the best wing we've had. We have a little place down the road from there, actually, that is probably our favorite wing. But they have very consistent wings. What's your relationship with them? I know you said you kind of grew up going there. Do you still eat at Anchor Bar? What's that like?
I'm very close to them. When writers come in town and they want to go to the Anchor Bar, I'll take them. It's the original. When you guys come to Buffalo, you got to go there because you walk in. It's like, how do I compare it? Like you're walking into St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City.
That's amazing.
You're walking into the Taj Mahal. You're walking in something really special, and you feel it. Motorcycles up on top, old motorcycles, the pictures on the wall, the old time bar. It's just very special. I think the challenge is when you franchise, you lose control. I don't care how good the
Sure.
whoever's dropping, like, let's face it, whoever's dropping those wings, right, and saucing those wings, if they're not making them with buffalo, they're not going to be that good, and that's
Right.
what you're prone to. And I got one for you guys. down in Atlanta. Taco Mac.
Yeah.
They are some of the most consistent wings for years. I mean, we kind of all being from the Atlanta area grew up going there. That was kind of the one of your Friday, Saturday night hangouts. It's
that
like
environment.
Sundays
really?
during
Listen,
football.
Taco Mac's
Oh,
beer
absolutely.
list
I mean, it's just
is one of my favorite beer lists of any restaurant.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's funny. I was down in Charlotte. I did a festival down there. I want to say it'd be 2007, 8, something like that. And I was down there with the local visitors bureau, and they took me to a Taco Mac that just opened in Charlotte, and it was a big sports bar. I think it was their first expansion out of Atlanta, and I was blown away because a tap came out of the center of the table. Okay, this big round table, and had four different beer spouts, and basically it was all measured, and you paid by the ounce. You could keep pouring for yourself. I'm like, do they have that down in Atlanta?
We got a few of those. Not everyone's a Taco Mac. That's like most Taco Macs don't have that, but we have a few bars that are like that. We got a few microbreweries that are like that, and there's a handful of Taco Macs that have that service. It is. It's dangerous because you don't recognize how much you're drinking.
Exactly.
A good or bad thing, depending on the day.
So Drew, we gotta ask this. In 2002 or 2022, 2022 on National Chicken Wing Day, you hit the Buffalo Wing Trail, and did the whole Buffalo Wing Trail in one day, which is amazing. First of all, I'm sure you have stories about that, but I bring it up because we're talking about coming to Buffalo for the Buffalo Wing Festival, and we want to hit the Buffalo Wing Trail. We will take more than a day to do it, but just kind of talk about the trail, talk about what we can expect as we go on it, talk about that National Chicken Wing Day in 2022.
Yeah, so National Chicken Wing Day, I'm a marketing guy, and you come up with ideas, and it was only like 2 weeks out, and I had this idea because, believe it or not, National Chicken Wing Day in Buffalo is not a big thing. I think it's because it's on, July 29th in the summer.
Right.
It's too bad it wasn't like the opening weekend of football or something,
Sure.
But it just is not a big thing. And this Buffalo Wing Trail that I developed with the local visitors bureau, we put a lot of thought behind it because it wasn't just about having the best wings. It was a different style wing at each place that was made it special, but also the history of the facility or the restaurant. We took all that into consideration. So I had this idea. It was like the 58th anniversary of the chicken wing, because 1964, 22. Yeah, so 58th anniversary. I said, I'm going to eat 58 wings today. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go to all 14 places. One was closed, so we can only go to 13. I'm like, 58 one day. That doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Because you figure if you had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's 20 a piece, right? That's doable. Well, sure. It was a little more than that. So, I started out at 11 o'clock, and every media outlet in Buffalo was there. They thought this was a big thing. Luckily, it was a slow news day, and we just got a ton of publicity. And I had some reporters follow me around to all of them. We got good national press, and the toughest thing was I had 3 more to go, and I was at 48, and I still had to eat another 10. And let me tell you, I was about to blow. I mean, I was like, oh, sure. God.
Sure.
And I remember it vividly. I was at a place called O'Neill's that was across the street. Actually, no, I was at a place called Mimosas, which is in Hamburg. And they got an older style wing, more dry, but he gave me some hotter wings, okay? So I got 10 to go. I'm like, if I don't slam 5 or 6 now, I'm never going to make it. Because at least I had 2 minutes to drive to the next place. And I just pounded, and they were really good. And I just pounded and ate and didn't think. And sipped a beer in between. And I had 4 more to go, or 5 more to go. And the next place I only had 2, and that's all I could eat. And I said, I got to go fast. I go to the next place. I didn't say I was about to puke. So then I wind up at the bar bill in East Aurora. And I walk in there. They're all cheering and stuff. And I'm like, oh, shit. I get some happy hour, I'm like, no, I just got to make this happen. And I got no room. I'm like, the gas tank's all overflowing, and I got to put more in. So I just hammered 3 and I was done.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was hurt. I was hurting, but it was pretty neat to celebrate at different places. Each place had a different style wing. We're talking about non-dipping, but double
Right.
dubs. I'm going to kind of jump around, but this one place in Buffalo, it's going to come to me. They melt crumbly blue on top of their barbecue wings.
Whoa.
Okay. It's like, oh my God, it's like a meal. But Double Dubs has this wing where it's their traditional sauce and they throw crumbly blue on, spicy blue.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. So that's the only time I'll have the blue cheese. But if you want to, if you get wings at home or they have them delivered, put them, do you guys ever put the mat on top of the grill, like that metal mat? Throw the wings on there and then put some crumbly blue on top and close the lid. And it's almost like broiling cheese on a burger, and let the blue cheese melt on top of those wings.
Wow.
Oh. Now they're not like takeout restaurant wings,
That's amazing.
But the Buffalo Wing Trail is pretty special. You're going to need 3 days. I'm actually doing the Wing Trail with some buddies coming in from out of town for the Denver game next Monday, and we're going to hit 2 or 3 places. But to hit them all is a mission.
Yeah.
It's a mission.
I bet.
Yeah, it's definitely something on our collective bucket list to try to hit them all. I don't know if we'll get to all 14 of them, but yeah, we'll try to get most of them.
Yeah, or you split
that
up.
in Toronto.
Yeah, divide and conquer, and then meet up at the last 3.
That's a good idea too. Might try that.
Teamwork.
Drew, you're talking about the putting the wings on the grill. You have some recipes out there, and I believe, do you have some sauces? Is that true?
From years ago, when I was doing the national circuit after I beat Bobby Flay,
okay,
I had a couple of, and I was a spokesperson for Frank's Red Hot, so we had to develop some sauces together.
Amazing.
I think they're on the website still.
I love how he just throws in, after I beat Bobby Flay, no big deal.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
lucky.
Yeah, no. I mean, for those that are listening, if you go to the national it's actually buffalowing.com. You can actually find some of his recipes on there. Just looking through, they look amazing. Do you enjoy cooking wings at home?
I don't do it anymore. My wife used to get so mad at me because the oil, the smell of the oil,
it's everywhere.
Got this tabletop fryers. So if we do them, we'll just throw them on the grill.
Absolutely.
The simplest one I learned from this guy Kevin Roberts, called himself the food dude, was just he called it a tavern wing. Basically, it was Sweet Baby's Ray. I use the honey. 2 parts that and 1/3 part Frank's Red Hot. Mix it up and just toss the wing in and cook them. And it's like a spicy barbecue. Simple. Simplest.
Sold.
That's Scott's favorite flavor at Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's right.
Hot barbecue. So
yeah. And that'd be one you could throw the crumbly blue on top too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Wow. Just amazing.
Well, Drew, thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Been a full hour. And
is that what's been?
I know it doesn't seem like it, but it's been so
great
to talk to you, man.
I feel like we could just throw Monday Night Football on and watch it and talk wings for the next 2.5 hours or however long that game's going to last, depending on how low scoring it's going to be. But
I need a lot of
like the Manning brothers, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing about Mondays.
We should do our own Buffalo Wing cast,
and we eat wings and watch Monday Night Football.
You should do it for the. You should do it for the
Labor Day
Denver
weekend.
game.
When
Next
the
Monday
Wing
night.
Festival is also opening weekend of college football. So we couldn't do pro, but we could absolutely do a live college football game.
We can absolutely lock down some college football.
Oh yeah.
That is so true. Oh my gosh.
That's so Drew, any tips when we get to Buffalo? What's wings aside, I know the whole weekend's going to be about Buffalo wings, but out of towners, what's your kind of one thing, hey, if you don't do anything else, try to do this?
We got to go to Niagara Falls, right? You got to check out Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Just get around and just talk to people. I hate to say it, but the best place to be is bars and bars,
Yeah.
because you get to meet people.
Yeah.
And when you're from out of town, that just for people from Buffalo, it's like you're a target of love. It's like, oh my God, you're here from, you're going to love this place. It's great. Where are you from? And guaranteed they know somebody and vice versa.
Wow.
Like the degrees of separation from Buffalo is unbelievable, unbelievable. But I'd say Niagara Falls and just the food. You got to try the roast beef on weck. Okay,
Yeah.
roast beef on weck.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would try it at the Bar Bill in East Aurora. When you go for the wings, because they make it it's very special. You'll see the person cutting up the beef and how they do it. But roast beef on weck is a real delicacy here in Buffalo, and you should try our pizza too. Try our pizza. There's a place called Lenova on the west side that has a really good pizza. They got good wings too, Bocce. But you gotta try our pizza and our beef on weck as well. It's kind of like cross training with the wings.
Yes, sold. I'm sold.
I'm gonna agree with
there.
Drew.
Yeah,
Having
absolutely.
been to Niagara Falls, we absolutely have to stop and see that. It is breathtaking.
Yeah,
Let's
and
do
really
it,
cool.
boys.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, Drew, we hope to see you in September.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the plan. We're all like, spending all the money on our credit cards, getting all the points we can just to try to get up there and make that happen. So hopefully in September you will see the 5 of us and we'll get to
Cool.
meet you in person and hopefully get to hang out with you a little bit. I know you'll be pretty busy, but at least we can stop and say, hey.
We definitely will. Bring your stuff to interview some restaurants and have some fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right,
Thank
guys.
you, Drew. It has been an honor.
Yes.
My pleasure,
Drew.
guys.
Thanks, Drew. Hope to see you soon.
Awesome.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills.
Thanks, guys.
Amazing.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you.
See ya.